that gamer. Maybe you know more than one gamer. They're the people that just obsess over playing certain video games. And they're so obsessed with it that they don't, do other activities, and maybe they criticize you for reading too much. But there's something I wanted to mention with this. I wanted to introduce something I like to think of as gateway books for gamers. Now, you're probably thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, gateway books for gamers? I just want to explain it. The term gateway is often used for marijuana. They often say it's the gateway drug to harder drugs. I've never found any truth in that statement, but I thought it was a good analogy for books. And the reason being is, I used to play a lot of WoW. Unless you've been living in a cave or something and don't know what WoW is the World of Warcraft. And I used to be so obsessed with this game, and I discovered that they had books for the game. And once I got into that, of course, I've always been an avid reader. I always read, comics and books before that. But I thought, hey, this is a great opportunity and a great way to introduce people who don't normally like to read and introduce them to reading. So, once I discovered that, World of Warcraft had books about the game itself, about the storylines, the backgrounds, the history, I really got that much more into the game. And I never really used to read fantasy all that much. I'll admit, I did read Lord of the Rings, back in the day, but it really opened up my mind to reading other fantasy-style books. Now, I was thinking about writing a skidoo about this, but when it comes to the gaming world, by the time, something is thought of, and you mention one specific game, a few months later, it'll be a new game that is the new hot topic. So it's kind of ever-changing, ever-evolving. But you'll be surprised that so many different games have books based on the game. For instance, there's not just the World of Warcraft that has books based on the game. There's Halo books based on the game, Warhammer books based on the game. Dungeons and Dragons has always had books, but, and that's, yes, Dungeons and Dragons has an MMO game too. Everybody thinks of it as the paper and dice game, but, yeah, they have books for the game. StarCraft has books for the game, Doom, and then some of them, even the console games, like Halo, Street Fighter, some of them even have, comic books based on the games. So this is a great way, if you have a friend who's a gamer, try buying them a book based on their favorite game that they like to play, and maybe, you never know, maybe they'll be an avid reader soon. This is to get a little bit off topic, but still on the same topic of introducing people to reading. Another way that I've always found helps and works is that people, if they have favorite films, if there's certain movies they really like, for all they know, they may really enjoy a film and not even realize that it's based on a book. There's a lot of people who like certain films and don't even take the time to realize that it's based on a book. That's another good way of introducing somebody to reading, is you can, say, hey, I heard you liked this movie. Did you know that was based on a book? And then get them that book and let them read it. A lot of times they'll find that the book was way better than the movie. So those are just a few tips, just wanted to throw that out there. I know, it was a little wonky. If I would have had the time and maybe put a little more effort, I was even thinking about doing a little skit with somebody playing, you know, video games and talking about it and all that, but I figured this would just be, you know, better just to do it this way. But that's it for now, and if you haven't checked it out already, check out my last video that's about BookTube exposure, about the article that I'm working on Squidoo, and, you know, don't forget to like that article, not just the video of me talking about it, but go and actually like the article itself. The more views and likes it gets, the better standing it gets in Google. So, like, I know I didn't mention that in my last video. So if you could do that, I know a lot of you have gone and viewed it already and all that, but like I said, it's an ever-evolving article that I'm going to be constantly adding, you know, different booktubers to. So, but the likes, the Facebook likes, the tweets, and all that really, really help, not just the views. So keep that in mind when you're, you know, looking at links and stuff. Alright, guys.